So here's the thing, dude. This is as basic as it gets. Like I'm just really learning the ropes here. How do I go back even further? How do you go back?
So go to.
Maybe it's
bottom left. Hit the.
Yep.
Yeah, you can do that too.
So I literally just like ran one ad here, but I just want your help. Like this is literally selling stuff online. We just created a Shopify page, with the sale and stuff. So maybe you can just help me. Am I optimized correctly? Just like we were talking about, is this right for making sales? It's kind of basic, and we know that, but we wanted to just see if there's a market out there before we do anything. I ran a couple ads like this Shopify page. This is almost like more down your wheelhouse. I mean, I got 70 link clicks, and I was like, all right, for $23, that's pretty legit. I haven't gotten any. This would be. This is the. Yeah. So here's the.
Was it it looks like it was a traffic campaign.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I for some reason I thought it was traffic, but I get what you're saying. So it should be conversions. That's what we want to convert. But yeah, it was a traffic campaign.
Yeah, because when you run a conversions, then it'll tell you right here how many adds to cart, how many checkouts.
Oh, it will tell you that.
Yep.
Got it. It'll tell you where?
Yeah, right. So in your columns right here.
Oh, it'll say that.
Like instead of like your results in a traffic campaign or link clicks. That's what it sees as your result.
Got it.
But when you run a conversion campaign, you can select your result to be. You can do cost per click if you want, but you can do add to cart. You can do add payment info, initiate checkout, purchased. And so then when you came in here under results, you'd see 20 people purchased, whatever.
Okay, so maybe you can just run through a quick, like, hey, this is how this whole thing. Oh, is this? I think I can create it.
CBO. If one of these isn't campaign budget optimization, then we could.
So basically, they're clicking on this. Maybe you can help me, give me some pointers on this ad.
Yeah.
Stuff, and then here's just the Shopify account we've kind of created.
Are you sending them to the home page right here? Or are you sending them to the product page?
I should send them to the home page.
Yeah, send them to the product page.
Directly to the product page.
Yep.
You write that down. But go ahead. I think you still have control. I just picked Orange County, California. I figured that might be the initial demographic that I'd try it out with.
Yeah, so like for this one, I wouldn't mess with locations at all. I'd just put United States and leave it at that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For like if you're selling on a website, unless you've like already gone through a lot of data, meaning you ran a bunch of ads, people have purchased a bunch of times, and you've really learned through that process that most of your customers come from Southern California, then do Southern California. But if it's just, I just leave that wide open, United States.
Okay.
Age and gender. Yeah, I think it's probably good to leave those a little wide. Okay, detailed targeting. Languages, I would make sure and set that to English. So here's my take on when you're trying to test interests. When you have it set up like this, say the ad runs, and say you get some success, like say some people actually purchase, which one of these interests did that purchase come from, do you think?
I agree. So, but here's my thing, maybe you can help me out with. If you look at my defined audience, it's like, it was super, like almost on the cusp of broad, right? So I was like, oh, do I need to add more to take it down?
I see. Yeah, so I would do, I don't know, here, let me just,
go ahead.
I'm just going to click some stuff off here. We won't, I'll discard all of this so it doesn't save. Oh, this is a big one. Detailed targeting, click that bad boy off.
Really?
Yep, don't put that on. it sounds good, but that's basically just Facebook saying, "Hey, please click this button so we can make more money off you." That's pretty much what that is. Okay, and then so I do like you said it's like a turmeric powder blend.
Basically, it's like tea with turmeric in there. Yeah.
Okay. So here, I'll just show you how I would kind of set this up here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty good. I mean, superfood's a pretty good one. You could even alkaline superfoods. Do you know? Do you know about the alkaline stuff?
I mean, I know. Yeah, I mean, I know about alkaline food, but I didn't know if like do people put in their like likes alkaline superfoods into Facebook?
Oh man, so how Facebook creates these audiences is based off of a whole lot of stuff. Yeah, it's based off of like, did people actually like the superfood Facebook page? It's that, but it's also like all the data Facebook can look at. I mean, it's probably all the way to it has an idea of what you bought last time you went to the grocery store. So like, it's building these audiences based off of tons of different data points.
Okay. Okay.
Did that answer the question or no?
Yeah.
All right, so if we went superfood, I think that makes sense for the product. And then narrow audience. Do you know about narrowing?
No.
So I go superfood and I narrow through turmeric. Did I spell it wrong?
Yeah, TUR.
Turmeric. Okay, so I'm saying they got to live in the U.S. They've got to be 21 to, well, I guess 65 plus, but leaving genders open. And then they have to like superfood, and they must also like turmeric. So,
God, I think that's what I was trying to do when I added health.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's another, like, we could narrow further and go through
Yoga, right? If I like
sure, yoga or maybe even like Whole Foods, something like that.
Or like Ayurveda or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, it's not letting me scroll here. There we go. Yeah, like right there, Whole Foods Market.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like there's 380,000 people. That, I mean, they're gonna definitely have some level of interest in your product. And you're not gonna be showing your ad to people that are just like are the wrong people to be showing your ad to. Like, that makes a lot of sense for your product. Superfood narrowed through the ingredient, narrowed through a nationwide market that's full of healthy superfood eater type of people. And you'll see that got it down to a 380,000 potential reach. And then it's saying it's a little bit broad, but whatever, that's fine. And I bet if we went and changed, like, I don't know, I'd test, kind of see if men or women do better. I would kind of maybe think women would be more inclined, but there's, I mean, I'm
their test superfoods, whole food, turmeric, men, and then get a separate ad with blah 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 women, and get a separate ad those things 20 to 27. So you'd have to have almost like 15 different split tests for this same thing.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, yeah, you can literally split test infinitely.
For me, it just gets like insane, like 21 to 27 women.
Yeah.
Food, turmeric, but and then like 20, 35 women, same, and then like 35, 40. Is that what they like? It can't just tell me like when they run the ad, like, hey.
I'll show you that right now. So if you want to leave it open, and then go in and look at data after the fact, you can do that. So what I would do, I would leave probably age and gender wide open because you can go and look at that after, and then I would probably mainly try and figure out some interest targeting that works. Yeah. And so I would run this one, and maybe I wouldn't even narrow this many times. Maybe I'd just do superfood and see how that goes. And then another one I would just do turmeric and see how that goes. Or maybe I do run this one and then I create another version of it where all I change is Whole Foods Market and I change it to, I don't know, just some other interest right there. And that's the one little variable that I change.
Okay.
But if you want to go in and look at,
Like I did see those graphs that it shows like
yeah,
these people clicked on it, these people were delivered it, yeah, in the view charts.
Yep. And
But
so that's.
do you ever run the ad first and then go?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Like, look at that.
Yeah. So here's what I see though when I look at this. Well, a couple things. So yes, I do come. So yes, I will run ads and then come in here and leave them open to then come in here and help this data and let this data hone in on like what age range. So like if like I ran some ads wide open, sometimes you can come in here and see that 25 to 34-year-old men they're the ones where all the purchases are coming from. So then now I know in the new ad set or the new test that I'm creating, I'm just gonna select 25 to 34-year-old men because they're the ones that are purchasing. So you can use it that way. Does that make sense? But what I see right here is all your clicks are coming from 65 plus. That's a bit concerning to me. That might just be old people clicking every ad they see. And they never buy anything. They're just cluelessly clicking. Like honestly, like that's maybe it is. Maybe 65 plus is actually your better audience, but I would think that's probably not the case. And that this is because you just left it completely wide open. It's just and because it's a traffic campaign and it's optimizing for clicks, it's showing it to the people that are just going to click on your ad the most. But when you switch this to a conversion campaign and set your optimization and your results for conversions for purchases, then instead of Facebook trying to show it to 65-year-old people because they click the most, it's going to try and show it to the person that purchases the most. And so that could very easily, like if you literally ran everything exactly the same, but did it as a conversions campaign and were tracking purchases, you could come back in here and see purchases are coming from 25 to 34-year-old men, and there's absolutely nothing happening in the 65 plus age range. So it's like this whole thing's set up again for clicks, and you left it wide open, so Facebook's going to get you the most clicks for the cheapest cost possible. And so I think that's why you're seeing 65 and 55-year-old women getting most of the budget, is because they're the ones clicking the most for the cheapest cost.
Okay. Because two things were a concern to me when I saw this. Yeah, same thing as you. I'm like, how did no one from 25 to 44 really click on it? Like, they're the people who I'm thinking health conscious, doing yoga, like caring about their bodies, all of that. Number one. Number two, we haven't got a purchase yet. This is technically, I mean, it only ran for like 4 or 5 days, but we hadn't gotten any purchases at all. And so maybe you can also take a look and be like, hey, this is probably why you didn't get any purchases.
Yeah. So yeah, why you didn't get purchases, I think, is because well, you didn't set it. I mean, it's not a conversions campaign. That was your first mistake, and that's a huge mistake to make. It needs to be conversions campaigns. Again, you chose traffic, and so all it tried to do was get as many people to click for the cheapest cost possible. That's all that it tried to do. Like I honestly keep everything the same, just change the campaign type, and I bet you'll see this data right here way different.
Okay.
But then also, it's not a bad idea to, I mean, a 50 and up person compared to a 20 to 30-year-old person, very, very different people, like absolutely completely different. So yeah, you can leave it open and see how it goes, but maybe it's smarter to do a 20 to 45 and a 45 up as two separate tests, and then you can see, again, make sure they're conversion campaigns. But then you could, because I mean, that's such a wide difference, 20 to 80 years old. So maybe you just can do yourself, make it a little easier on Facebook kind of too, and separate that out.
Okay, I can do that. And then like the ad creative that we here.
Oh, and then product page. Don't send them to home pages.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
That's another one.
Send them to the product page.
I love how you guys just like have jumped in and gone for it though. That's honestly the best thing you can do.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I
That
mean, we were just like, we've been talking about this for like a while, even just getting into online or whatever, and we're like, you know what, just screw it. And then we read that thing, like, just try to sell it first and then figure out kind of what happens. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And then we're just trying to trial and error here.
yeah.
Is the app creative? What do you think?
I think it's pretty good. So I think so premium turmeric blends start every day with brew. I don't think that's bad, and I don't. But I think it's a little bit. I just think there could be more. And this is tricky, man. Like I coming up because like at this point we're talking about psychology is really what
Yeah.
this is. It's
Yeah.
how what words and images do you put there to move people psychologically? Like that's really what this is at this point. And so there's no 1 + 2 = 3. It's a psychological game. So I look at
Yeah.
this as I think it's pretty good, but could it be stronger? Can it draw me more towards shopping? Yeah.
And
Again,
that's where I was trying to run the A/B test to be like, just run this or run a separate one exactly like that, be like 25% off today.
yeah, that's perfect. And so I think if you had not done a CBO, we could
Yeah.
just click duplicate
Okay.
and then run that, and you could do exactly that.
Okay. That makes sense. And then I send them to the Shopify page, and you're saying instead send it to the
The page you're on right now.
this page right here, which is
Yeah.
directly to this page. Okay. And then I think I have a pixel set for this. Is there anything else that you're like, hey man, this is the basic setup if you're trying to sell something online with Shopify that you need to have?
Conversion campaigns.
That's it. And then I got I'll do that. I have the pixel right here, and then that's it. Anything else? Start out with.
No, that's honestly it. Just conversion campaign. Make sure your pixel's working, and that's it for selling product on a Shopify.
Cool, man. Well, dude, I appreciate your time. Like the stuff you gave me was gold here. So